Hi. So something fun that my family likes to do is to go letterboxing. If you've never heard of letterboxing, it's a really great way to go out in nature, take some hikes, and then sort of make it like a little treasure hunt in the process. We used to call it the poor man's geocaching because back in the day for geocaching you had to have little GPS devices. Now I'm sure there's apps that on your phone that you can use. But letterboxing is fun because instead of having a trinket that you find like you would for geocaching, you would take a trinket, leave a trinket. For letterboxing, you are finding a box or a little package, and you are you're taking a stamp that's in there, and you are taking their stamp, stamping it in your book, and then you are leaving a little stamp of yours, not the actual stamp, but an imprint of your stamp in their tiny little book that they put inside their package. So you'll see what I mean as we go along. So we are here at Tryon Creek, and this is one of our favorite hikes to do. There's lots of different hikes in here, so get a map even if you know the park pretty well, because you're going to go to a website. I like atlasquest.com, and print off some directions for how to find the boxes, and you'll need to know the trail names in order to do that. So follow us. We're going to find our first box. Before you head out on the trail, you'll want to head to Atlas Quest, create an account if you don't already have one, and then we decided we were going to go hiking in Tryon. So here, you go to location. You can just type in where you want to go, or you can just type in a zip code and see what pops up, and it'll give you a whole list of letterboxes that you can choose from. When you click on the letterbox, you can then click on the clue, and that will bring up the clue. Okay, so we have reached our first clue, which is looking for this tree. It's recognizable because it looks like a giant sun, according to the directions. Now, what are the rest of the directions?
Stand facing the center of the roots and follow a path at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
So face it and find 10 o'clock. What would be 10 o'clock on a clock? So 10 o'clock, this is noon. 10 would be over there. Okay, keep reading the directions.
Okay, you're going to follow, you're going to walk in a straight line. And
This way,
into a
10 o'clock.
Tall tree.
Look for a tall tree.
Looks like it, right?
Looks like you're going to have to bushwhack a little.
A stick teepee at the base of the tree.
A stick.
Facing away from the trail.
A stick
teepee.
teepee. Ooh, you found it? There's the stick teepee.
Well, it kind of wrecked when I took it out.
And this is what we found. So open it up. You can see it's a little bit camouflaged. Okay, and open it up and let's see what's in there. Okay, so in there we have the stamp. This is their stamp. Can you open that up? In letterboxing, it's cool to make your own stamps. So they made this with wood and eraser. It's a rocket or a carrot.
Wait, let me
I
see.
can't tell.
I think it's a rocket.
Okay, and then
It's a rocket.
what they leave behind for us.
It's a rocket.
It's a rocket, okay. And what they leave behind for us is a little book, a stamp in the book. So you can look through, it's kind of fun. You can see the people who are before you and where they've been from. It looks like they just replaced this packet with a new one. They took the other one home. So we are only going to be the second people to stamp in this book.
Well, there's one on the back.
Okay.
There.
And then we have our supplies.
Some on the back.
Oh, look, we missed some.
That's a cool one.
So you can see where people are from and when they were here.
Cool dog stamp.
Yeah. Okay, so here's our supplies. We all like to have our own journal. In our journals, you can see our journey of where we have been. Here's all the stamps and where we found them and the date. Here's the stamp that I made for my husband for his birthday. Here's the stamp. Here's my husband.
It's a little big.
So anyway, so what we're gonna do now is we are gonna go to our last page.
That one's mine. That's his.
And we're gonna take their stamp, and we brought
No, wrong one.
markers. And what you want to do is color the stamp, or you can just bring an ink pad, but we like to get really colorful. The really important thing to note when you're done with that, bring some wet wipes, because it's considered poor etiquette to leave the stamp messy. You want to leave it clean for the next person. You're going to stamp it in your book with a date. And then when you're done, this is our stamp that we use along with our trail name to put in their little book to say that we were here. Okay, so we finished. We put our stamp in their book with our signature. Our trail name is SMEK, S-M-E-K. It's just our family's initials. And then we are now getting ready to hide their stamp again. But see, there are people behind us. So you have to be very quiet. You don't want people who don't understand what letterboxing is to come and find a treasure and steal it and ruin it for other letterboxers. You have to be very stealth. Okay, so here we go. Okay. All right, so we're done for the day. We tried to find the third box and we couldn't find it. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes they get lost and sometimes you just can't find them. So we are done and we had a great time. Okay, now I'm back home in front of my computer. So I go back to Atlas Quest where I found the letterbox adventures, and what I do is I just report that I found it, and it gives you a place to say if any repairs are needed, which is great because sometimes repairs are needed. Like one of the boxes was letting in a little bit of water and the paper was pretty damp. So I'll probably note that on here, and that helps the owners to do repair on it if they choose.